Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to continue exploring a deeply touching story, the journey of Ye, Huyen, and little Maya. After so much pain and hardship, this small family has finally found warmth, love, and a place they can truly call home. From shared meals and quiet mornings to gentle promises and unconditional care, every moment brings them closer together. But will this fragile happiness last? Let's discover their story together. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next emotional chapters. Today, I'm bringing you the continuation of this beautiful story about Yi Huyen and little Maya, a family that has finally found peace after so many years of hardship. From a man shaped by quiet pain, Ye stepped into Huyen's life like a gentle breeze, never forcing his way in, yet slowly becoming the steady pillar that both mother and daughter could lean on. And Huyen, after years of surviving instead of living, has finally allowed herself to smile without fear, to dream of a real home that lasts. As for Maya, that tiny girl with a heart bigger than the sky, she is the thread that binds them together. They eat warm meals side by side, wake up under the same roof, hug without hesitation, go to the market together, laugh loudly, and live, truly live, like a real family. But even in moments of peace, small worries still linger, shadows from the past, old conflicts that could return without warning. Will this happiness be strong enough? Will it protect Huyen and Maya until the very end? If you've been following this story, don't forget to like the video to give me strength and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next emotional chapters. And now, let's continue this family's journey. That afternoon, sunlight spilled across the patio like soft golden threads, wrapping everything in a warm glow that felt like an invitation to happiness. From the kitchen, thin wisps of smoke drifted upward, carrying the comforting aroma of fried onions, an unmistakable sign that something special was being prepared. Huyen stood by the stove, moving quickly but gracefully, her hands working almost on instinct. A gentle smile rested on her lips the entire time. She hadn't felt this kind of happiness in years. It wasn't about the meal itself, but about the fact that for the first time, she was cooking in a home shared with the man her heart had chosen. Maya ran back and forth across the patio, a wooden spoon clutched in her small hand like a badge of importance. "Mom, let Maya help you pick the vegetables," she called out excitedly. "We have guests coming today." Ye watched the scene from the porch, wiping down the freshly washed table. His heart felt like it was melting. To him, this moment, simple, ordinary, and warm, was the greatest gift life had ever given. He stepped into the kitchen and gently wrapped his arms around Huyen from behind. "Are you tired?" he asked softly. "Let me take over." Huyen placed her hand over his and shook her head. "I'm not tired," she said quietly. "I'm just happy." One by one, neighbors began to arrive. They brought simple offerings, plates of fruit, bottles of fish sauce, bundles of fresh herbs, small things filled with sincere affection. An older woman smiled warmly at Huyen. "You look beautiful today," she said. "You're married now. Remember to take good care of yourself, all right?" Huyen blushed and nodded. "Yes, Auntie, I will." Maya ran out proudly, chest puffed up. "I'm Mama Huyen and Uncle Ye's daughter," she announced. "Today, there are 3 of us at home." Laughter rippled through the courtyard. A young neighbor teased, "So, does that mean Maya's the head of the household now?" Maya nodded seriously. Yes, Uncle Ye says I'm a princess. Ye laughed from behind her and gently ruffled her hair. And princesses are always right. The courtyard filled with laughter, light and unrestrained. When everyone had settled at the table, Ye stood up and raised his teacup. His voice was calm but steady. "There's just one thing I want to say today," he began. "Thank you, all of you, for always being there for Huyen and her daughter." He paused, then continued, "And today, I want to officially ask you to accept Huyen and Maya as my family." Applause broke out immediately. Smiles and warm gazes surrounded Huyen and Maya. Huyen looked at Ye, her eyes shimmering softly like water under sunlight. She didn't say a word. She simply leaned her head against his shoulder. Maya shot her hand up into the air and shouted, "I accept Uncle Ye as my dad." Laughter erupted again. An elderly neighbor wiped his eyes and said gently, "Huyen, you've suffered so much. Now that you have someone who loves you, you must live happily. Everything will be okay." For the first time in many months, Huyen smiled a truly genuine smile. And Ye looked at her with a gaze that said more than any spoken promise. "I will take care of you. I will take care of Maya. I will protect this family." When the meal was nearly finished, Maya suddenly stood up in the middle of the patio, hands on her hips, like she was about to make an important announcement. "Listen, everyone. From today on, 3 people are sleeping together at my house." Huyen nearly disappeared from embarrassment. "Maya, what are you saying?" Ye laughed until tears formed in his eyes. "So tonight," someone teased, "where will Dad sleep?" Maya thought for a moment, then answered confidently, "Daddy sleeps in the middle." Once again, laughter filled the yard, soft and warm like the afternoon sun. In that moment, no one worried about storms or feared tomorrow. There was only happiness, complete and comforting, like the steaming soup before them. That night, a gentle breeze drifted through the open window, carrying the scent of wildflowers from the backyard. The small bedroom was lit by a warm yellow nightlight, its glow wrapping the 3 of them in a sense of safety. Ye had just finished bathing Maya. She wore a cream-colored nightgown, her hair still slightly damp. The sweet scent of baby shampoo lingering in the air. With a small hop, Maya climbed onto the bed and dove under the covers, her eyes sparkling. "Mommy, Daddy, come here," she said eagerly. "I'm going to tell you a story." Huyen laughed as she gently dried Maya's hair. "Wait a moment, sweetheart. Let me fix the sheets first." They lay down, just as Maya had declared earlier. Ye on the left, Huyen on the right, and Maya right in the middle. The little girl stretched out her arms proudly. "I'm going to tell you the story of the Red Princess and the Black Dragon," she announced. "I made it up myself." Huyen blinked in surprise. "You know how to make up stories now?" Maya nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, because today I'm so happy. I have lots of stories to tell." And then she began. Her voice was clear and bright, her hands moving animatedly. Once upon a time, there was a princess trapped in a cold house. She had no one who loved her. She hugged her pillow every night and slept alone. Huyen froze. The story felt painfully familiar. But one day, Maya continued, unaware, a kind, strong, and handsome black dragon appeared. Ye chuckled and gently touched her head. "Handsome, huh?" "Yes," Maya said confidently, "because the dragon looks a little like Daddy, yeah." Huyen covered her mouth to hide her laughter, her eyes soft as water. Maya lowered her voice dramatically. "The dragon said, 'Don't be afraid. I'm here now. If anyone makes you cry, I'll breathe fire and protect you. Huyen laughed, but tears welled up in her eyes. Yi squeezed Maya's hand gently, and then, Maya said, hugging Ye's arm, the dragon took the princess to a small house with sunshine, delicious soup, and someone who hugged her every night. Huyen turned to look at Ye, her gaze lingering. It wasn't just a story. Maya had spoken the feelings Huyen never knew how to express. In the end, Maya finished softly, the princess was happy because she found someone who loved her, and she loved them too. Huyen bent down and kissed Maya's forehead. You're so much wiser than I thought, she whispered. Maya hugged both of them tightly. I love Mom and Dad so much, and I want us to never leave each other. Those small words made Yi's chest tighten. He pulled them closer, holding on, as if afraid that letting go would make everything disappear. Dad isn't going anywhere, he said firmly. I promise. Huyen leaned her head against his shoulder, tears falling, tears of happiness she never thought she'd be allowed to feel. Outside, the curtains swayed gently in the night breeze. Inside that small room, a new family was quietly taking shape. No luxury, no noise, just peace, and a happiness so complete that anyone who witnessed it couldn't help but smile. The next morning arrived quietly, before the sun had fully risen. Pale rays of light slipped through the window, brushing softly across three faces resting close together. Huyen's head lay against Yi's shoulder, her breathing slow and steady. His arm wrapped around her protectively, his hand holding hers as if afraid she might fade away if he loosened his grip. Between them, Maya curled up like a tiny kitten, warm and peaceful. The room was so still that the sound of the wind moving across the porch outside could be heard clearly. Maya was the first to wake up. Her eyes fluttered open, still heavy with sleep. She turned her head to the left and saw Ye deeply asleep, his expression calm and gentle. Then she turned to the right and looked at her mother, Huyen, her hair spilling across one cheek, her face softer than Maya had ever seen it. Carefully, Maya reached out and touched her mother's arm. Mommy, you're awake, Mommy, she whispered. Huyen didn't move. Maya leaned closer and placed a small kiss on her cheek. Wake up, Mommy, it's morning. Then she turned toward Ye, pouted adorably, and gave him a gentle kiss as well. Daddy, wake up with me. Almost immediately, Ye opened his eyes and saw the small face hovering so close to his. He chuckled softly. Well, with a kiss like that, how could I not wake up? Maya smiled brightly and wrapped her arms around his neck. I woke you both up for breakfast. Huyen slowly stirred and opened her eyes. She squinted when she saw the two of them cuddled together. What are you two whispering about so early? Maya quickly shifted and hugged both of them at once. I woke you up. There are 3 of us in the house. Huyen laughed, pulling her daughter closer. Yes, sweetheart, 3 people. She looked at Ye then, her gaze gentle and full. In that moment, Ye felt it clearly. He belonged here. This place, this warmth, these 2 people. They were his family. In the kitchen, the sound of sizzling eggs filled the air. Water boiled softly on the stove for tea, while Huyen sliced fruit on the counter. Maya sat at the table, swinging her legs back and forth, humming happily as she waited. When Huyen turned to grab a plate, Ye stepped up behind her and wrapped an arm around her waist. Good morning, my love, he murmured. Huyen startled slightly, then smiled despite herself. Maya's right there, she whispered. Ye leaned down and kissed her cheek. That's why we have to be quick, he teased. Maya suddenly jumped up hands planted on her hips. "Daddy," she protested. Ye turned around, pretending to be confused. What's wrong?" Maya puffed out her cheeks. "That's not fair. I kissed Daddy and Mommy this morning too. Now, you both have to kiss me." Huyen laughed and opened her arms. "All right, princess, come here." Both adults kissed Maya on the cheeks at the same time. Maya closed her eyes, smiling from ear to ear. "Okay, that's fair now." The small kitchen filled with laughter, sweet and bright, like honey melting in the morning sun. When breakfast was served, Ye sat down beside Maya. The little girl rested her head against his arm, her voice soft. "Daddy, don't go anywhere." Ye looked at Huyen, then back at Maya, and gently stroked her hair. "I'm not going anywhere," he said warmly. "Every morning, I'll be right here to kiss my princess." Huyen felt her heart melt. Under the table, Ye reached for her hand and squeezed it gently. "And I'll love you every day," he added quietly. Huyen lowered her head, her lips curving into a shy smile. Maya gasped dramatically. Mom and Dad are blushing. The three of them burst into laughter, clear and light, like the very first morning of a new family. After breakfast, Maya changed into her light yellow uniform. Her small backpack bounced behind her as she walked. Huyen carefully braided her hair into two neat plaits, her fingers gentle and practiced. Maya's face glowed with excitement. Huyen bent down to button her shirt. "My princess is the prettiest girl in class today." Maya spun around confidently. "I know. Daddy, remember to take me early. Today, my friend Lee and I are practicing our dance before school." Huyen came out with a carton of milk and handed it to Maya. "Drink it all. I'll pick you up at noon." Maya hugged her mother tightly, then grabbed Yi's hand. "Daddy, let's go." Ye pushed the bicycle slowly along the familiar path. Maya sat on the back seat, swinging her legs and softly singing the song she was practicing for her dance. Yi glanced back with a smile. "What song are you dancing to today?" "The Little Sun Song," Maya replied proudly. "Teacher said I dance really well and that I should dance for my classmates too." Yi pretended to be amazed. "Wow, my daughter is becoming a real dancer." Maya puffed out her cheeks. "It's because Daddy taught me how to spin." Ye laughed. "I only showed you once, and you got dizzy. But it was fun," Maya giggled. Along the way, neighbors waved as they passed. "Look at them," someone said. "Father and daughter going to school together." Maya called out cheerfully, "Yes, my dad is very handsome." Yes smiled shyly, his ears turning red, his heart full. When they reached the kindergarten gate, children's laughter mixed with the teacher's greetings. Maya jumped off the bicycle and stood straight, like she was about to give a performance. "Daddy, bend down." Ye bent down, and Maya wrapped her arms tightly around his neck. "I hope you have a day as happy as mine," she said. Ye kissed her forehead. "Thank you, princess. Be good in class. I love you very much." Maya held his hand for a few more seconds, as if trying to store up warmth, then ran toward her classroom. Before going inside, she turned around and raised her hands, forming a heart. "Daddy, remember to pick me up on time." Ye raised his hand in response. "I promise." The teacher smiled as she watched them. "Maya seems happier and more confident every day. It's because of you both." Ye bowed his head in gratitude, pride shining in his eyes. As Maya disappeared into the classroom, Yi stood there for a moment, watching her small silhouette. His heart felt light, yet full, an emotion he had never believed he would experience. The morning breeze carried the scent of wildflowers through the air. He turned his bicycle around and began pedaling back toward the house, where the woman he loved was waiting. And as he rode, one thought echoed clearly in his mind. I have to work harder, so I can take Maya to school like this
Sử
every
La,
morning.
bà
After
mẹ đơn
years of
thân với
pain
quá
and
khứ đầy đau
loneliness,
khổ trở về
Ye,
nông trại
Huyen,
cũ
and
cùng
little
con
Maya
mình và bất ngờ
finally
phát hiện nơi
begin
đây
a
đã
new
được
chapter
Alex,
as a true
một người đàn
family.
ông tốt bụng và tài năng,
Through simple
âm thầm tu
moments,
sửa,
sharing
trong
meals,
khi Sử La
laughing
chăm
with
chỉ làm việc
neighbors,
để xứng đáng với tấm
telling
lòng của
bedtime
anh,
stories,
thì chị gái của
and
Alex
waking
lại
up
phản đối,
together,
cho rằng cô
they
không xứng
slowly
đáng với
heal
con trai mình.
wounds left by the past.
Cùng lúc đó, Alex luôn lo
He
lắng
becomes
cho
not
sự an
just a
toàn và sức
protector,
khỏe của Tử
but a
La,
gentle father
thậm chí
figure.
còn nhắc nhở cô về
Huyen
việc phải
learns
đi
to
bộ
trust
con đường
happiness
dài,
again,
con nhỏ.
and
Mỗi
Maya,
lần gặp gỡ,
with her innocent
họ đều
love,
ấm áp,
becomes the
nhưng
bridge
vẫn bị che
that
phủ
holds
bởi
them
những tình
together.
cảm chưa nói ra và
Every
sự
day
phản đối từ
feels
gia đình.
warm, peaceful,
Ở nhà,
and full
Alex
of
phải đối
hope.
mặt với sự cương quyết của chị
Yet
gái, yêu
beneath this
cầu
quiet
anh
joy,
giữ khoảng cách. Nhưng
unanswered
sâu trong lòng,
questions remain.
anh biết mình đang quan tâm đến Tử
Can this
La
fragile
nhiều hơn những
happiness
gì thừa nhận.
survive the shadows of the
Quyết
past?
tâm thay đổi cách
Will
nhìn của gia
love be
đình,
strong
Alex
enough when
âm thầm
old
lên kế
conflicts
hoạch chứng
return?
minh giá trị của Tử La,
Their
đồng thời
journey
lặng lẽ theo
has only
dõi và
just
bảo vệ
begun,
cô từ xa.
and what lies ahead may test everything they've built.